Just imagine how many of these toilets you could buy for the price of a toilet on the International Space Station.
We co-founded this organization in 2006 as a way to work with communities in Haiti to find creative ways to transform wastes into resources. The way that this toilet works, if you can see inside the toilet, and we'll get a better shot later, but inside the toilet there's a place that separates the urine from the feces. So when you sit down on the toilet, the urine goes one way, and the poop drops down into a chamber underneath the toilet. So now I'm going to take you around the back of the toilet and show you where it goes and how we empty it. Each time that you poop in the toilet, you take a scoop of, this is what we call bagasse can. This is leftover sugar cane after it's used to make alcohol. And you put that down inside the toilet, and that helps the poop to dry out so that it doesn't smell too much. The way that the toilet works is that the entire toilet is built above ground. So there's no hole dug. There's a foundation down here, and then this is the floor of the toilet, and underneath are two chambers. And the way that it works is that the poop falls into these chambers, and when one side fills up, we just take the toilet and we move it to the other side, and so that we use that second chamber. The first one remains sealed until the second one fills, and then what we do is we actually take out these blocks right here, and in that way we can empty the toilet. And we take what's inside the toilet should just be poop and the sugarcane bagasse. And so it's pretty dry, it's not so bad to empty. We empty it out, and we take it to a compost site in Milo, which we're going to visit later. Now the urine comes down through these pipes here and goes into a gravel pit in the ground. Urine is sterile, so there's no harmful pathogens in the urine. So for now in these urban areas, we have to just send the urine down into the ground because it's just too much liquid to be transporting out of here right now, though someday we're hoping to find a way to harvest it. What you see inside of here is actually the toilet waste from Shada, where we just visited. So when we emptied those two toilets, we brought the wastes here, mixed them with the bagasse can, and they've been here about 3.5 months now. These have been composting. So we'll leave this compost here for 1 year, and after a year we'll test it to make sure that all of the pathogens have died, and at that point we can start distributing the compost. So what you're looking at now, that's a pretty small toilet. Will give you about that much waste, which will turn into about that much compost. So that gives you a sense of how much compost can be produced from these toilets. This is our household dry toilet.
This is a bucket that we emptied a few weeks ago into this container, and it's starting to compost. So we have a series of buckets here, and each one sits for a year before we add it to the compost, and that gives it time for the composting process and the drying process to kill the microorganisms. So this is one that's been here a longer time. Sometimes there's paper or plastic that ends up in the compost. That's okay, we just leave it there until the finished product is ready, and then we take it out at the end. So this one's already been here since August of 2008, and I wrote on there August 2009 is when I need to empty it, and so we've already passed that. So I'm going to empty that into this compost pile here. And I'll show you the finished product. Some spinach, some basil in the garden, plantain trees that we're growing here on our roof.